Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of My Little Conversations. My name is Wanjiko Edna, and I am your amazing host. So, I don't know about you, but I thought 2024 is my year, but now we are 5 months in, and I don't know. I don't know. But the way days are different, weeks are different, months are different, and I'm feeling different like throughout the days and weeks and months. I'll just wait till December to decide if 2024 was my year, but yeah, I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it. I am not where I thought I would be. But anyway, I thank God I am alive. Yeah, that's a list. Yeah, but anyway, without much further ado, I have interesting news for all the book readers, for all the book lovers. Okay, I did one review of a book. What was it called? Who Moved My Cheese? That was like probably the most how do I call it? What do I call it? What's a word? Like it came with so many lessons. The most uh fictional book that came. Okay, my most fictional read that has come with lessons, because I read mostly fictional books. I can't read non-fictional books to save my life. They are boring. I can't lie to you. For your self-development. No, I can't. So I really enjoyed reading that book because it was fictional but with a lot of lessons, which I enjoyed. I won't lie. But anyway, now we are in May, and I'll just give you a quick summary of the books that I have read in this past third of the year. Yeah, I don't know. I categorize my years in thirds, but when I'm saying it out loud, it sounds so weird, so wrong, because everyone is like, "Yeah, my first quarter was amazing. Looking forward to the second quarter." Yeah, my first third, which sounds weird. My first third. I've read like 5 books now. I'm only 4 or 5. Yeah, which is great, because last year I wanted to do the same. I wanted to read at least one book every month, and I fell out, I think, in Feb. Yeah, I read a very boring book, which I ended up not reading for months, and I finished it August. And then I was able to read my fourth book was read in November, which is not what we are doing this year. This year I'm purposing to read because I also have a lot of free time on my hands. Yeah. Anyway, the books I have read, I'll just give you the titles quickly, first of all, and then I'll give like my 2 cents, literal 2 cents on each, because I'm not planning to take like long on this video. Damn, mama, maybe I should do visuals. No, on this audio, I'm not planning to take long on this mini audio on this episode. The first book that I read Who Moved My Cheese. I read it in January. Then, like halfway through January, I started reading this book called Long Way Round, written by Ewan, McGregor, and Charley Boorman. Very interesting book, but it's not my usual type of read, so I struggled with it. I probably read it for a little over a month, but I read it as I read another book. Like I was reading 2 books concurrently. Not exactly at the same time, but yeah. I was halfway through it, and then I realized, this book is not as entertaining, but I wanted to finish it so that I can read its sequel. Its sequel is called Long Way Down. This is Long Way Round. Long Way Round is basically... I was to share the titles first. So yeah, that's Long Way Round. I'm planning to my dad gave me this Long Way Round, so I'll just tell him, Dad, I finished it, give me the sequel. Yeah. I was also reading Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad. This book was amazing, and I don't even like short stories, but yeah, this was nice. And I didn't know it's a short story book, but I'd seen it around, and I was like, yeah, I'll most definitely read this one. And then the other one I read was Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi, which was a very interesting read. Yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, now my fifth read is I Am Malala. Actually, I am still reading it, but it's about this Pakistan girl who got shot in the head because she was fighting for the rights of Pakistani girls who want to study. And at that time, Pakistani girls weren't supposed to be in class reading. So yeah, she was shot in the eye or in the head. Okay, but her eyes aren't in her head, but whatever, man. Yeah, for fighting for the rights of Pakistani girls. And she ended up, I think, in England. And all she wanted was to go back to her country. Haven't finished reading it. That is just a summary because obviously I read the back part of the book, like whatever, the back cover, whatever, to give me a review or a summary so that I actually understand it. But it's a book I'd heard of. It's not the most interesting, it's not my usual, but yeah, I'm planning to do more than my usual. So anyway, quick summary. Long Way Round is around the world, like literally. You see the way the globe, the northern hemisphere has like more land than the lower. Like the lower is basically Australia, South America, and half of Africa. Now the top has a lot of countries, so they were basically going round the northern hemisphere. Not all of it, obviously, but yeah. They were on motorbikes, and as someone who wants to travel around the, not literally around the world, but I want to travel kidogo here and there. I was motivated and I was I was inspired by these people, I must say, to actually learn how to ride a motorbike, and like do this one day, probably from Nairobi to like Addis Ababa in Ethiopia or something. Yeah, wild dreams, but they might come true. I don't know. Let's just see. So these guys were on bike. They were two best friends who were actors, and they also had a passion for bikes. They loved bikes since they were kids. That's how the story starts. But yeah, just to make this short as possible, they're both from England, from London. So they were riding from London they passed through France, Belgium, Germany, Czech Republic, Ukraine. There's this country, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan, something like that. They passed through Mongolia, they passed through a bit of Russia. Yeah, and then there's like a bit of area over there that has where the Pacific Ocean passes between Asia and North America. They flew for that tiny bit and then they landed in Alaska, continued on bike through Canada into the US, and they ended up in New York, all on bike. They did it for like 3 months, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the experience was amazing. It honestly made me consider putting it in my bucket list for forever ago, because forever away, not ago, forever away, because it's not something I want to do like this soon. Like, Sai, I don't even know how to drive a car, so I probably just want to first of all learn how to drive a car, learn how to drive a motorbike, and then we can now think about how I'll travel to some place like on bike. Yeah. So anyway, this is Long Way Round. Long Way Down is a sequel, but I can read them like one before the other. Whatever. They don't ati fuatana. Yeah, Long Way Down. I haven't read about it, but I basically know they were going down from London because they're both from London. They were coming from London. They went through France. They went down through Egypt. They passed through Kenya, that I know for sure. So they were passing through the eastern side of Africa, but from like the top down up until South Africa, I think Cape Town, because that's like towards the coast of South Africa. Yeah, that was my very interesting read. If you like bikes, if you like traveling, I would recommend that book. 10 out of 10 for sure. Okay, not 10 out of 10. It will be a 10 out of 10 for you. For me, I'd rate it like a strong 6. I'm a 5.5 because I struggled, I won't lie. Anyway, Purple Hibiscus, really nice book. I'd wanted to read it for the longest time, and I won't give you detailed stories about it, but I'll just read the back and a short story summary, whatever. So it's about, okay, let me just read it directly. 15-year-old Kambili lives in fear of her father, a charismatic yet violent Catholic patriarch who, although generous and well respected in the community, is repressive and fanatically religious at home. So I'll just summarize that part in my own nini. Kambili had a brother and a mother and a father. So there were 4 in a big-ass mansion. And her father was a Catholic priest. He was very religious. But the father and like Kambili's dad's sister, Kambili's auntie, they were living in like the worst conditions. The dad was not religious at all. So like Kambili's grandfather was not religious at all. So the dad was like, you know what? As long as this man is following traditional ways, I'm not giving him a cent. They weren't even allowed to visit him. And if they did, they were like told, you're going there for like 15 minutes tops. Don't eat anything, don't do anything. Just talk to him kidogo and then you come back. They weren't allowed to interact with their granddad because he was a traditional man, which is quite sad if you ask me. The sister was the sister to Kambili's dad, Kambili's auntie. Kambili's paternal auntie was a lecturer in the university in a town called Nsuka. Nsuka. I think Kambili lived in Lagos. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Kambili's auntie lived in Nsuka. There's a university called Nsuka University, and I understand it's an actual university. Yeah, and the dad didn't help them. Also, her husband had died, so she was the only one providing for her kids. She had 3 kids. She had an older daughter, a son, 2 sons. One was like really young, like 4 years probably. Anyway, let's continue. Escape and the discovery of a new liberated way of life came when Escape and the discovery of a new liberated way of life came when Nigeria is shaken by a military coup, forcing Kambili and her brother to live at their auntie's home, a noisy place full of laughter. So that's noted there because Kambili and her brother never used to laugh at their home. There was no laughing, there was no joy. They were all serious, they were all Christian-like. They didn't even listen to music. They never watched TV, and they had a TV. Yeah. The visit will lift the silence from her world and in time unlock a terrible bruising secret at the heart of her family's life. Yeah. So basically, the dad was abusive, very abusive, but they came to realize that when they went to their auntie's place. So when they went to their auntie's place, they stayed there for some time, and the auntie had requested that this happen because the cousins didn't know each other. Her kids and her brother's kids didn't know each other. So she was like, bro, our kids can't live like this. They don't know each other. Let them come, stay over for like, I think a week. Yeah, but they had like literally a routine. Do at this time, go read at this time, spend with your cousins at this time, you pray at this time, you read, which is crazy. Like these kids are on holiday, they were on holiday. And the auntie was like, you know what, you won't follow this bloody routines that my brother has given to you. You're at my house, you can do what you want. Anyway, their point of view was really changed when they were here because now they could laugh, they could do fun things. Kambili never even owned a pair of pants. Yeah, even a pair of shorts. Her aunt gave her once a pair of shorts so that she could go play or something. She even had a cute little crush on a priest, and she used to pray, and she's like, God forgive me because I know I'm not supposed to like this guy because he's a priest, blah blah blah. But they both liked each other. I like a little romance in books. But anyway, this book was really nice. I'd give it a strong 7. It's overrated if you ask me. That's because there's like too little sections, paragraphs, statements that I feel are misplaced. You know the way you'd read a statement and you're like, wait, what? Kwani I've gone like kwani there's somewhere I've lost the storyline, and you read the whole page again and the statement is still misplaced. Yeah, there's a part like 3-4 points I felt like a paragraph or a statement was misplaced or unnecessarily there. Yeah, the book was really good though. All the plot twists, all the drama was at the end kabisa, which I don't really mind because I understand the first few pages she was building the plot. But don't get me wrong, the first like 10 pages are also catchy. You know how you'd have to read 100 pages to understand a storyline? Yeah, this book doesn't need that. Read 10 pages, the first 10 pages, you will be in the shackles of this book. You will feel like you need to read. I need to read this book. Then anyway, there's a little section this author wrote like on the last few pages that I felt it spoke to me in a way. And I'll be crucified for this statement, but it's not my words. Anyway, this statement says, there are lots of people who are kind and generous and thoughtful, but in the name of religion, they do all sorts of awful things. And if you've listened to me carefully, you already understand. She was speaking about Kambili's dad. He was a priest, but he has money and he can't even help his dad. Yeah, there's so many people who are like this, but this is a whole episode and I will do it soon. By the way, I saw this statement and I was like, yeah, this is a whole story and it is about to go down because people will, yeah, I'll get backlash for saying this. But anyway, another story, very nice story. Nearly all the men in Lagos are mad. I don't know why, I just feel the need that to remove the nearly. Because I feel like all the men in everywhere are mad. But yeah, anyway, there's like probably 2% of men that are good. Please be the 2%. Anyway, I had like really funny stories. There's a story I didn't understand. There was a story about a group of women who got married to gay men, but they never knew these are gay men. These men are just marrying women to cover up their tracks, and these men are influential, so you can do much about it. But these women have made a group so that like wakwe wajanja, and they know how to get the wealth out of these men, so that if they end up getting divorced, they have some cash in their pockets. This story was interesting, but it got to a point I couldn't understand like a whole 4 pages of this story. And these are short stories. The longest story I think was like 12 pages. So if I can't understand 4 pages, it's like I can't understand the whole story, or there's a whole key chunk of the story I can't understand. So that's one major reason why I don't like short stories. Because Poshika storyline within the first like paragraph, you are lost. Anyway, there were really nice stories. My favorite was about a guy who was complaining about how he couldn't take the chance and get married to this woman who he was already quote unquote married to, like come with kind of marriage. He was living with her. They had 2 kids. But when this woman like actually told him, oh, I want to be married for the title, he freaked out. So he was talking about how heartbroken he is, and I enjoyed this story. Like it's so basic of a story, but I enjoyed it because it was the only story that had the POV of a man, and men don't talk about their feelings. And in this one, he was like explaining in detail how he felt and why he's sad and why he wants her back and why he felt like freaked out about the like this is my wife statement, or the marriage, or the word marriage specifically, because his dad was a fucked up man. Yeah. There were funny stories. Yeah, the first one was very funny because this man agreed that his wife sleep with another man for money, and then anamkata. Like, if you will let me sleep with a man for money and then I come back to you, I want you to welcome me with open arms. You let me go in the first place. So don't deny me now. Oh, please. And I don't know, these books, the Purple Hibiscus is Western literature, West African literature. Nearly all the men in Lagos are mad. It's Lagos, it's Nigeria, it's West Africa. These books are crazy. I don't know. I feel like I've enjoyed West African literature for the longest time. Even the two pesetas we used to read in primary, I've read like a couple of them, not so many, probably less than 10, but those books were catchy. Those books had juicy stories. And now I'm realizing, when I'm reading like this West African literature, I'm realizing that I actually used to enjoy pesetas. Ata I'd forgotten there's something like pesetas, but they were so catchy and they were like 100 pages each, which was amazing. If I get pesetas, I'm so sure I'd read them again and again and again. Anyway, before I digress a bit too much, let me see. There's also this story that was actually more sad. I don't know why. It was the second story. It was about a guy who was talking about a bachelor party he was holding for his friend, and this was like the third marriage. Yeah, he had married a girl when they were in campus. They got divorced. He married a Muslim girl who was loved by a guy in their friend group, and now they broke apart because of that. Like, this man was brokenhearted because this other guy like took the initiative and asked this girl out, even converted into Islam for this girl, and he knew that these boys of his liked this girl. But yeah, anyway, and then they got divorced, and now he's marrying another woman who is way older. It was funny but sad. There was a story about a pastor's wife covering up for the cheating husband. Yeah, that was a bit, I don't know, I can't see myself doing this, but again, marriage and relationships, yeah, never say never. You will say, I'll never defend a cheating man, and you will. Yeah, but God give me the grace never to do such rubbish, because I know. Guy, another story. I've remembered it at the top of mind. This man kept this babe, bought her a house, bought her a car. Even this babe came, like the dad's babe came and visited, and she's like, oh, now I'm happy that you have your own house, you have your own car, but now you need to get married. This dad didn't know there's a man behind the scenes doing all the house buying and car buying and keeping this woman. This man used to lie that he's going for business abroad. This man, his abroad was just a few blocks away. He had a whole other family with a pregnant wife, and yeah, that's why this man never proposed. But this, okay, I will get cancelled for saying this, but I'll say it. The sex was amazing. That's why this woman stayed. I feel like that's why she stayed. Yeah, and she was always like convincing herself, this man has given me enough, I don't want to ask for more. Asking for more meaning she didn't want to like pressure him into marriage. Kume, this man is married, my dear. Yeah, anyway, I don't know about you, but I feel like I learned my lesson the hard way. If you want something, ask for it with your chest. You'd rather get a no, and you know deep in your heart that you placed all your heart's desires on the table and say, this is what I want, this is what I can't stand, this is what I don't want. Yeah, that's just me. Yeah, anyway, this I can't, I feel like the stories are many. There are like 12 stories. I don't want to talk about all of them, but yeah. Ooh, there's another hot story. Yeah, I'll just say it, the last one, I promise, before I close this video. Kai, I've said video again. I said video in this episode. Am I in the Anyway, yeah. Let me not speak. Let me not speak. So this story was crazy. It was like revenge on revenge, and it was so crazy. And I feel like I saw, like, okay, I'm so sure if you're here, you are on Instagram, you know who GK Nyambura is. She's read this book, and she particularly said this was her favorite book. Now, the book, I don't remember, the mini book, because this is the whole book and then the story. This story, was about this babe who entertained her husband and entertained his cheating for the longest time. When they were dating, the first time they had sex, she didn't want to, but she felt the need to so that she can keep him. Because this man was like, yeah, this is what men need, so that I don't cheat on you. If you don't please me, if you don't satisfy my needs, I'll look for them elsewhere. That's why I'll cheat on you. And I think he had cheated before, and then came and forced her to have sex, and then things were just ugly. Long story short, he ended up cheating again. This babe confronted the other babe, and they didn't meet again with this man, but this man cheated with other people. They got married because she was like, I've had sex with this guy, I can't get married to another person because I've had sex with him, I can't have sex with anyone else. It is a sin. Because I think she was brought up like in Christianity, and also she was like, this is so wrong, so I can't even get married to anyone else. So she stayed in that toxic relationship. She struggled to have a kid, but she had a kid at some point. And when she was pregnant, very pregnant, I think, the night her water broke, her husband was not in bed. So now she goes down the stairs. What does she find? She finds her husband having sex with the house help, with the maid in the house, in the kitchen or in the living room. I don't know. But all I remember is this woman's water broke. She has taken her bag for has everything, has taken the keys, wants to call her husband because Alim's scared downstairs. And he's like, he's downstairs, so let me get him and then we go to hospital. Kume, this man has his pants down and he's doing the nasty with some other babe. Hey, anyway, men will embarrass you. I am the ambassador of men will embarrass you, and I will always advocate that men will embarrass you, because they will for sure find new ways to embarrass you. But anyway, so this woman at this point, she's not even bitter, and they struggled to get pregnant because this man, apparently his sperm count wasn't right or something. But I remember the reason she couldn't get pregnant was because of the guy, and they struggled, but it happened, and now she is giving birth to this baby. She gave birth, she stayed with a man, and at this point this man isn't working. This baby is the one working. This baby is the one who has the businesses going on in her life, and she is basically financing this man. Everything this man has, from the car to the businesses that belong to the man, are financed by the woman. Everything is owned by this woman. If this woman were to be like, okay, I'm not giving you anything more, this man wouldn't survive. So anyway, this woman ends up cheating with the driver that she had. And when this man discovers, he goes crazy. He's like, oh, why are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. And this woman is just quiet. Oh, I remember what happened. They were to go to a certain event with her husband. And the wife is like, I'm not going with you. But this wife is his wife is still getting ready. So he's like, why are you getting ready? Where are you going? If you're not going with me, where are you going? And this woman was like, I'm going on a date with blah, blah, blah. And at this point, she had already set up a business for her driver, and he was no longer her driver. She had gotten a new driver, and this was now her man. This is her man now. This is her man. She is happy. She's having the best sex of her life. Her baby daddy is still in her life. And when he threatened you to say what, the wife was like, this car is yours. You're pleasing babes out there because of this car, because of the way I am financing your life. If you want to say anything, just talk, and I'll take everything that belongs to me, that includes your businesses, because I am the biggest shareholder, because I am I put in the capital, I put in so much money. This guy shut up. Basically that was the best revenge ever possible. But hey, no, that story is nice. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's nice. No, I said my favorite is the one for the guy. Yeah, that still stands. But that was a bomb story. Yeah, there's also another one about a mama's boy. Yeah, but this book has nice stories. Yeah, so far my best short stories book. Who I have gotten to 30 minutes and I say that I'm not speaking for long. Anyway, I feel like this one that I give reviews and all those things, I talk a bit too much. But I need to add something. You see, these West African stories, fear West Africans. If you haven't already, I watched this Tumelo interview. I don't know if you've heard about Tumelo, but search on TikTok, search on I think YouTube. I don't know if you'll find it on YouTube. I don't know, but it was about an interviewer who wanted to shame a babe for her sex life and what she chooses to do with herself. And that was a mistake she did. You will know why if you go and search for the story. Yeah, I'm not talking about that here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed 30 minutes in. If you have reached this end, I mean, this point of this episode, and in the previous one you watched all of it, you cannot convince me that you don't love me, that you don't love my voice. Anyway, before I get full of myself, follow my Instagram, follow my personal Instagram, follow this podcast even for more episodes. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Yeah, have yourselves a lovely, lovely time. Yeah, I just don't have any more words, but thank you so much for reaching minute 31 or 32. Yeah, thanks so much. Bye.